This right here is the smallest RTX graphic card that's... Nah, just kidding, guys. This is PNY XLR8 Gen5 x 4 NVMe M.2 SSD. This is CS3150. I think it's XXHS. Sorry. Yeah, so CS3150 XHS. And it looks outstandingly cool because, first of all, we have two small fans. Yeah. We have a passive heatsink, and we have PNY XLR8 here logo with a huge X right in the middle that glows up into whatever color you desire. But what got me worried, and it really did got me worried. When I saw the fans on it, I thought, oh wow, this is going to be either too loud, or if there's no possibility to adjust the RPMs of the fans, this is going to be a flop. What happened is I tried to search on their website about the software and I didn't find anything. Then I tried to use Velocity X, but somehow it downloaded the wrong Velocity X, an older version, and I used the new Velocity X where you can actually check out everything from your GPU to your M.2 SSD, where you can adjust the RGB lights and you can also adjust the RPMs. You can go with auto mode, you can go with manual, you can literally do full speed if you wish. If you wish to run it on 16.6K RPMs, then you'll most likely hear a turbine in your PC. But what I tested out is you can run them on 10K RPMs and they are inaudible, which is outstanding because you don't have to worry about the additional sound coming from your PC, and this is really good. You can adjust the curve, giving you a possibility to actually have a nice cooling, without a doubt, because we do have a passive heatsink, two fans that do additional cooling through the passive heatsink, and even here at the side, if you placed it in a regular M.2 position, not as I did in vertical, the front fans can blow air and push it through the fins of the passive heatsink. That is good because it creates additional airflow through the M.2 SSD. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going a bit too much into the technical details, but I wanted to give you guys an idea because this looks really cool. It goes into the same segment as their Verto Epic X RGB graphic cards, and it kind of does resemble to it. So what's it all about? The speeds, read speeds go up to 11,500 megabytes per second, while the write speeds go up to 8,500, which is great. We have 5-year warranty. Extreme cooling, these two fans are called extreme cooling, and Velocity X RGB software. Gen5 x 4 with RGB heatsink, 1 terabyte of storage. Of course, you have varieties of storages to choose from, and then we go with operating temperature 0 to 70 degrees Celsius. Mean time before failure is 1.6 million hours. It supports the LDPC, ECC algorithm, Smart, Trim, TCG, Opal 2.0. We have Phison E26 controller, Micron 232 layer 3D TLC. For the DRAM, we have 4GB Hynix LPDDR4 at 4266. And the ideal temperature for this one is 44 degrees. This is really good. And I really like the possibility to be able to adjust the fans, because you have a connection right here that isn't your regular connection. So it's not 4-pin PWM, it's not anything similar to that. It's actually a 9-pin for the USB 2.0, but it isn't full 9-pin, right? It has 6-pin connection. You connect this to your motherboard to USB 2.0 internal, and you get the possibility to adjust everything through Velocity X. Really great. So let's check out the benchmarks. I used AMD Ryzen 7900 X3D for the CPU, and the motherboard was ASRock B650E Taichi Lite. In ASSD, and this is quite interesting because usually in ASSD I get lower benchmarks for every SSD regardless. So read speeds 9035.26 megabytes per second, but the write speeds go above what they wrote, so 8774.13 megabytes per second, which is the first time that I actually see in ASSD having better scores than what they wrote on the box and their official website. The thermals during this benchmark went up to 47 degrees Celsius. Outstanding, right? Then we go to Autodisk benchmark, and here we go with a bit more serious results. Read speeds 10.79 gigabytes per second, while the write speeds again above 8.98 gigabytes per second with thermals 57 degrees. Because Autodisk benchmark does a bit longer benchmark compared to SSD, and this is where we can actually see the proper thermals of your SSD while benchmarking. And then going into Crystal Disk Mark, read speeds go up to and above the mentioned speeds, so 11,663.81 megabytes per second, and write speeds shock totally 9624.52 megabytes per second. IOPS read 1.26 million read IOPS and 950,000 IOPS write. Thermals 59 degrees. So it's not even touching 70, it's not even touching 60, which is outstanding because it really does do the job with cooling. And just for the real life file transfer, 54.9 gigabytes file transfer, reads 4.19 gigabytes per second, write speeds 3.68 gigabytes per second. This is most likely the first SSD that has integrated fans that you could actually regulate, that you could adjust the speed to your liking, set the curve, full, automatic, it's all up to you. And it's quite interesting that at 10,000 or 10,500 RPMs, the fans are totally inaudible. And this is really cool because they spin really fast, and they create additional airflow through the SSD, cool it down, as you can see, quite nicely. And yeah, 16,000 is really unbearable at some point because they do tend to act like a turbine, or well, not a turbine actually, but those small 10K fans that go into servers usually. But apart from that, you can regulate the speed and do whatever you want. Plus the RGB is quite easily adjustable, and thankfully that works without a single problem. So what started as something that I would think that it would be a problem, it ended up being an incredible product because of the cooling possibilities on this CS3150. And I do have to give PC Crazy approved badge because this is something quite outstanding, I do have to say, quite outstanding. And all in all, you know what happens next. The link for the PNY XLR8 GEN5 x4 NVMe M.2 SSD CS3150 is in the description below. I'll try to find all the storage capacity so you don't have to go throughout and searching all the others where you can find them. And finally, if you liked the video, helped you decide or choose or answered your questions regarding this particular SSD, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, and guys, hope I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, bye bye.